We talked about rising land values. Now let's talk about the price of food. Of course, a lot of people celebrated Thanksgiving this past Thursday. More celebrations still to come this weekend. And as you were shopping, you might have noticed prices slightly lower than they were last year. At least that's according to the folks at the American Farm Bureau as they track that year to year. Joining us here at NAFB is Joby Young. He's the Executive Vice President for the American Farm Bureau Federation. Prices a little bit down this year, but man, they are still higher as we look at historical data, right?
Yeah, that's right. And American Farm Bureau has been doing this informal survey for 38 years. And while down a little bit from last year, still the second highest year on record. So 4.5% reduction from last year. But just in recent years, we see it's still 25% above 2019. So, I think that shows what a lot of people are actually seeing themselves when they go out there and they've been up and down the grocery aisles, that the food has still had inflationary pressure the last couple of years here, and they're still seeing that. When we look at the individual pieces of that, of course, our voluntary shoppers that go out, we had shoppers, 200-something shoppers in every single state, and they're able to go see what things cost. And the biggest piece of that total is a turkey. And so I think most folks, you can see that with the avian influenza and some of those other things moving out, the turkey price has fallen a little bit, but other things still at elevated prices.
You survey a lot of different items, and you publish a neat survey that's available online to go see, each year how those track. As you looked at that report this year, any surprises or things that caught you, off guard a little bit? Well,
some interesting insights I think come out of that are, anecdotal examples, and so one thing caught my eye was some of the bread products like dinner rolls. Those are still up quite a little bit. Where if you follow commodity prices, you see wheat prices down. So we think that might be something that worth mentioning, that it shows that for the consumer, a higher price in the grocery aisle or at a restaurant doesn't necessarily translate to higher prices for a farmer, because they take a smaller a small portion of that food dollar. And so packaging and distribution and labor throughout the rest of the food supply contributes to that. So I think that's an interesting insight for sure. And there's things across the survey. As I mentioned, the price of turkey falling and how big of a part that plays in the Thanksgiving meal. There's differences across regions. You're going to pay the most for a Thanksgiving meal in the Northeast and in the West, probably the least in the Midwest. So when you think of our non-ag folks that live on the coasts, I think it really drives home for them how important having a sound farm and food policy is, because they're going to see it in their grocery cart.
To that point, we've got an extension on the Farm Bill. Looks like 2024 is going to be the year. Maybe lawmakers are going to be able to take that up, and perhaps, of course, all the ag groups, we want that to be passed. Your thoughts from the American Farm Bureau Federation's perspective on the Farm Bill and its outlook on passage?
Well, the results of this survey, just one more indication of why we need a new 5-year Farm Bill. A lot's changed, a lot in food inflation and inputs costs and other economic things that have happened in the last 5 years. So we need a new farm bill. We did get an extension passed through both houses, hopefully soon to be signed by President Biden. So you get a little relief for a moment there, but a new 5-year bill is what we really need, and we'll continue to push for that as we move into the new year as soon as possible.
What else is on the minds of the American Farm Bureau Federation?
Well, a lot going on at any time on Capitol Hill and in the conversation. So we continue to focus on making sure that whether it's a farm bill or whether it's regulatory issues or whatever that might be, that we're continuing to tell the story of America's farmers and ranchers. Farmers and ranchers make up 2% of the American population. We got to keep talking to that other 98% and show them how important all these issues are.
Well, Joby, thanks for sitting down with us here at the NAFB convention. And back on the survey, if you're interested in seeing the price of that Thanksgiving meal, head on over to their website, the American Farm Bureau Federation's. It is fb.org.